So it's official, Team USA won the gold medal, and there's one star player specifically who deserves the majority of the credit for that, and it's none other than the greatest shooter in basketball history, Steph Curry. He was absolutely insane in the final two games for Team USA as he put up these ridiculous numbers, and especially in the gold medal game, he hit some ridiculously clutch shots, sealing the game with 4 amazing three-point shots down the stretch, and the final one specifically was iconic and just mesmerizing. It reminded me of Kobe Bryant when he had his shush moment, but in some ways, this was even more impressive when you look at the degree of difficulty of Steph's shots. I've been saying this for a little while now, but the Steph Curry isn't clutch narrative is officially dead at this point. He won the Clutch Player of the Year last season in the NBA, and he was extremely clutch down the stretch in order to win his 4th championship ring. Now, he basically saved Team USA, when France had got it down to just a one-possession game and had momentum in the contest. All of this has got me thinking about Steph and his legacy. Some of you who follow my channel are going to remember a video I made a while back, when I compared the legacy of Steph Curry to Magic Johnson. And I said that Magic wasn't even close to Steph Curry when it comes to where they're ranked on the all-time list, and when it comes to what they accomplished on the basketball court. I still hold the position that Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard in basketball history, and I do think Steph's got a little ways to go, but that gap is closing at an alarming rate. Since I made that video, Curry has added to his numbers, he's added to his accolades, and he just won a gold medal where he was the most clutch player involved. One of the major talking points is whether or not Steph Curry should have been the MVP of Team USA. Personally, I do think that would be a little bit much. There has been some instances in basketball history where guys have performed well in the final act and that has earned them the MVP, like James Worthy in 1988. But for myself personally, I think you have to look at the games as a whole. LeBron James was second on the team in scoring, just behind Steph Curry. He led the team overall in rebounding, and by far he led the team in assists, more than double the guy who was in second place. LeBron was clutch in many contests where Team USA had to get the victory, but Steph was the guy who was getting it done when the biggest games were happening. At the very least, you gotta recognize Steph for the fact that he made LeBron sweat it. He's making leaps and bounds forward in the latter part of his career, as Curry is 36 years old and he'll be turning 37 late next season. Here's another impact that's impressive to me about Steph Curry's legacy. Everybody talks about how he revolutionized the game of basketball with his three-point shooting. He changed the game, he changed the sport. He made it more about pacing and volume of three-point shooting. And for that, you certainly have to recognize his impact. But in my opinion, that is not the most impressive thing about his legacy. What is most impressive to me is what he's done for the Golden State Warriors franchise. Now, older basketball fans can back me up on this, but the Golden State Warriors of today were not the Golden State Warriors before Steph Curry. Before Steph, Golden State rarely made the playoffs, and when they did, it was a really big deal. I remember living in California in the 1990s, and there were far less Warriors fans than Lakers fans. But you had to give respect to the Warriors fans because they were passionate about their club, regardless of the fact that they weren't nearly as successful. In the 2000s, you had the We Believe Warriors, and basically everyone outside of Dallas was rooting for the Warriors when they defeated the Mavericks as a number 8 seed in the playoffs. They were an underdog team that basically everyone wanted to see succeed, but no one took them seriously when it came to title contention, and they were certainly not one of the most valuable franchises in all of basketball. And then Steph Curry happened. He took the Golden State Warriors and made them a destination location. He made them one of the most exciting atmospheres in all of basketball, and he made them must-see TV. In terms of revenue and in terms of popularity, you cannot overstate Steph Curry's impact on the Warriors franchise. He has literally made them the most valuable franchise in all of basketball, ahead of the Knicks, Lakers, and Celtics. I still have a hard time wrapping my mind around that, even though I've known that for a couple years. So with all this being said, from a legacy standpoint, whether you're looking at the game of basketball as a whole, whether you're looking at his individual talent, or whether you're looking at the Warriors franchise, you basically can't overstate Steph Curry's impact and value to this league. Again, Magic Johnson was the face of Showtime, and he dramatically increased the popularity of the Lakers franchise, which was already a very popular franchise. As a 6'9" point guard with his flashy no-look passes and with his transition basketball, Magic saved the NBA from becoming irrelevant alongside of Larry Bird. So from that perspective, both of these all-time great point guards have left an imprint on the league that will last for decades and decades to come. But all I'm saying is that the gap is closing, as Steph Curry is reaching his late 30s and is still capable of being the best player on a championship team. Which now brings me to my next point. I hope Steph's greatness doesn't get wasted in the twilight of his career, because Golden State has been a little bit of a mess the last couple of years, and with Klay Thompson now headed to Dallas, they're basically conceding any chances of them competing for a championship for the next couple of years. Very few players have ever been this great at this age, especially at the point guard position, and again, I would just hate to see it wasted. I hope to see Steph competing for championships again one day, but I don't know if it's going to happen in Golden State. And I would even argue that Steph doesn't owe anything to that franchise, as he took them from a bottom-feeding organization within the league and made them literally the most valuable brand in all of basketball. He transformed that franchise like no one has done since Michael Jordan joined the Chicago Bulls. Ultimately, his legacy is improving by leaps and bounds. And although I still have Magic as the greatest point guard of all time, he definitely should be sweating and looking over his shoulder, because Curry's not done adding to his resume. And if he finds himself in the right situation with the right supporting cast, who knows, he might just add even more hardware to this argument. So what do you guys think? Do you think LeBron James should have been the MVP over Steph Curry? And how do things currently stand in the all-time great point guard comparison between Steph Curry and Magic Johnson? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.